Cardinals hockey is back, and what better way to start with an old Battle of DC. George Washington's trying to prove that last year's season was a fluke, while the Catholic Cardinals try to prove the same. But it's a changing of the guard for our beloved Birds. Players graduated, a new division, and a new home rink. Will the Cardinals soar through it all? Catholic Cardinals hockey returns on WCUA, and coming up next. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to WCUA's coverage of Catholic University Ice Hockey. Alongside my partner, CJ Petro, I'm Giuliano Luca, happy to be with you for another season of Catholic hockey. Tonight, your Cardinals open the season against the George Washington University Revolutionaries. Live from the St. James in Springfield, Virginia, the season opens with a battle between two DC clubs. Before we start tonight's pregame, I'd like to pay my respects to my Uncle Chris, who passed away in the summer of 2024. My uncle was one of the most caring and friendliest people you would ever meet. While he loved to humor me with his favorite lines from TV shows, he would support his family and me in every new thing that I tried. One of his favorite lines from the Red Green Show was, "Keep your stick on the ice, and remember, I'm rooting for you." Each and every day, I'm rooting for him as well. And as a tribute to his love of wearing bow ties, I'm once again sporting a bow tie tonight as well. Uncle Chris, we still love you and miss you. Thank you always for your everlasting love and support. Last season, George Washington University sported a 7-18 record in the ACCHL M2 Elite Division. The Revolutionaries finished their season losing the high point in the M2 Elite Playoff quarterfinal, losing 11-4. But not after defeating St. Joe's University 3-2 in overtime in the playoff game. The OT winner was scored by number 20, Joseph Hecht, who was sixth in goals last year on George Washington. Overall, recent graduate Sean Montgomery led George Washington in points with 27, 12 goals, and 15 assists in just 14 games. Luckily, the Cardinals won't have to play against Montgomery, but will have a tall task against number 15, Ethan Redden, who was second in points with 18, 8 goals, 10 assists. The Phillipsburg, New Jersey native is a senior this year and ready to continue where he left off. As for goaltenders, number 31, Sage Yoke, played a majority of the games in 15 starts. Yoke posted a 3-12 record alongside a 5.4 goals against average and an .867 save percentage.
Last season, the Cardinals, if I may, seemed to play two separate seasons as the Cardinals' semesters were so different. It felt like two different seasons. Overall, the Cardinals finished with a 4-9 record in the first semester, but a 4-6 record in the second semester for an 8-15 record overall. While that may seem like a minuscule improvement, the Cardinals played like a completely different team in the second part of the season and never played a meaningless game. Heading into the final game of the season, the Cardinals' playoff hopes were still alive. A win against Navy would earn the Cardinals a trip to the playoffs as the final seed. Unfortunately, Catholic wound up losing 4-1 in a tightly contested game, ending the season. In short, last season was one full of growth and adversity. While the season ended on a low note, the Cardinals are eager to put it behind them and earn a playoff spot this year. Former ACC Defenseman of the Year, number 35, Matthew Hornick, led the Cardinals in points last year with 15 goals and 16 assists. Hornick is a big piece of the puzzle for Catholic, but will be without him for the fall semester as he enjoys the sights and sounds of Europe. In the meantime, expect young key players, number 77, Jackson Denninger, and number 16, Cole Mulcahy, to help fill his role on defense. Last year, between the pipes, number 1, Daniel Mark, and number 30, David Zapp, split time, with Zapp picking up 7 wins on the year. Your Chick-fil-A starting goaltender tonight is number 1, Daniel Mark, the native of Flemington, New Jersey. Last season as a sophomore, Mark finished with a 1-9 record alongside a 5.48 goals against average and a .863 save percentage. The lone win for Mark last year was also his first collegiate shutout over the University of Maryland. Mark was spectacular, making over 40 saves.
And we're still waiting to see who the starting goaltender is for George Washington tonight. They have two goaltenders dressed, and as a result, we're going to talk about both of them since we don't know who is starting. So let's say number 31, Sage Yoke, is looking to take the crease and be the starting goaltender tonight. Last year, he had a 3-12 record alongside a 5.4 goals against average and an .867 save percentage. As well, the other goaltender who's dressed tonight is listed as number 1, and in my stats, I believe he's Callie Glass. He's the native of Highland Park, Illinois. In his sophomore season last year, Glass posted a 2-2 record alongside a 5.73 goals against average and an .855 save percentage. So depending on who's in goal, we'll get the word when warm-ups end. We have about 4 minutes left in warm-ups, so right now I guess you can make your guess as to who's going to be in net. But either way, it'll be one of the two. And while we have some time remaining here in warm-ups, let's briefly mention the new players joining the Catholic Cardinals. 3 freshmen and 2 other players who are sophomores and seniors. But we'll start with the freshmen. We have number 2, Owen Finnegan. He's a forward who previously played for the Rockville Center Cyclones. Number 76, Blake Simonson. He's a forward who previously played for the Genesis Hockey Club in Warrington, Pennsylvania. And we also have a goaltender who's not dressed tonight, Caden Van. He previously played for the Potomac Patriots. And the 2 other players joining, we have a senior joining, number 18, Luke Weidenkampf, a forward who previously played for West Springfield High School, and sophomore Greg, excuse me if I'm mispronouncing this name here, I'm doing my best, Greg Malibayabas. He's a forward who previously played for Loyola Blakefield. So we'll see what they can do in their first games here tonight. Obviously, I'm sure there's some nerves, as you can imagine. What was your first game like as a Cardinal, CJ?
My first game as a Cardinal, I barely remember it, but there was nerves, there was excitement. I think we were all just ready to go, and I was ready to get that first shift over with because, as you know, that year I skated out, played forward. But overall, looking forward to the game, and I'm sure that these new faces and new Cardinals are feeling the exact same way.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, obviously, it's different for every position you play. First game starting as a goaltender. Obviously, CJ, your first year you were a forward. It was a little different.
Correct.
And obviously, the nerves could be different. You know, Caden Van's not making his first start tonight. I'm sure he will sometime this season. And still, for the forwards and the defensemen, it's nerve-wracking. You previously played in high school, and now you're playing at a collegiate level. And you might say, okay, it's only club. Well, no, these guys you're playing against are maybe 22 and you're 22 years old, and you're 18, and you might be a bit nervous, and that's respectable.
Absolutely, a 4-year age gap in some cases. And, you mentioned, some of these guys played high level before this, but I'm sure there's still nerves, learning the new systems, learning the new chemistry with the guys, and everything about that aspect. So, even if you're the best player in high school, you're still definitely looking forward to playing.
Well, absolutely. We'll see what the new players can do in their first game. Had a chance to speak to head coach Steven Terenzo before the game. Had an issue with the audio, so I'll briefly recap what he said. And he mainly said that it's an interesting situation for this season so far. The Cardinals' home rink, like it was mentioned on the intro, is kind of under construction still. So the Cardinals are kind of playing home away from home once again. And Wheaton Ice Arena is under construction partly, so they can't play games there. They'll still be able to practice there, but they can't play games. So they've only had 4 on-ice practices, and I was asking Coach Terenzio what he thought, and he said, it's going to be a bit of an uphill climb and some adversity. But as fans of the team may know, this team faces adversity quite often, and I think the guys will be ready for it, is what he said, and I have to agree with him.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, Giuliano, I was at one of the off-ice practices since we haven't had the opportunity to been on the ice for the whole time, the whole preseason. And Coach Steven Terenzio's got the guys working, fitness, cardio, all that. So I definitely expect to at least see a battle out of the Cardinals tonight, if anything. But I have confidence that we'll see a good game and that the guys are ready to go.
Well, another thing to mention as well is I mentioned that George Washington played in the M2 Elite. The Cardinals play in the M2A, and that's a step above the Cardinals' playing level. So this might be a game out of their league per se, but that doesn't mean it can't be a competitive game.
Absolutely.
And it's game 1 of the new season. I mean, what more could you want? Cardinals hockey's back. It's a Friday night. It's not a 9:45 start. We're ready to rock and roll in some prime time here.
I know the boys are down there. They're buzzing. They're ready to go.
It's not too late for a start this time. So good to have everybody here for tonight's game. Warm-ups are just about over. Something interesting we'll mention about this rink is that there are 2 ice sheets here, and one you're seeing on the camera and one directly behind us, and they're not separated. So there's no game going on behind us, but if there was, the referees actually have to use 2 different pitched whistles to signify which for stoppages on a specific rink.
That's interesting. I've played here in high school 2 or 3 times, I want to say, and that's an interesting fact that I did not know about.
Yeah, pretty interesting. Coach Dorenzo was telling me a bit about that as he's played here. I think he played here when he was a freshman. That was about 10 years ago. I'm pretty sure he was a freshman. So that's also the last time the Cardinals have played GW, if I have that correct. So it's been a long time, and 2 DC teams reunited in some respects. Well, both teams at their respective nets. Catholic in their white uniforms and George Washington in their navy uniforms. Cardinals looking to get the season started on a bright note. Last year, like we mentioned, the first semester ended with, I believe, a 4-7 record, 4-9 record in the first semester, and the Cardinals obviously looking to avenge themselves in the first semester a little bit as well. So we'll recap the starting goaltenders. It looks like Sage Yoke, number 31, is in net for, oh, excuse me, I had that incorrect.
Oh.
Now, we don't have a number 1 listed on our roster sheet, but going off of what I saw online, this looks like the pictures match from what I saw earlier. This is Jeremy Bach, who is in net for.
I thought they were getting ready to send Sage Yoke in. He gets ready. Actually, what? I don't know what's going on.
I'm not too sure.
Both goalies have skated out towards the net. Okay, looks like it's number 1.
So while we have a second here, we're going to actually check their roster and see who is in net for George Washington. I believe it is Jeremy Bach, but we'll get a quick word on that. For certain, we know Daniel Mark is in net for the Catholic Cardinals, so that's one thing you can bank on. It looks like Jeremy Bach is in net as the pictures match online, as it's listed as number 30 on the website, and well, maybe not exactly. We'll try and get a word on that. I want to say that's Jeremy Bach, but I'm not exactly sure who's in goal. Excuse me if I have that incorrect. But we're ready to start tonight's game here to open the new season for the Catholic Cardinals. Nolan Scott in on the draw for the Catholic Cardinals. And a bit of a tie up at center. Catholic comes away with the puck. Scott trying to get it free for his winger. Pushed out of the zone by George Washington and all the way into the zone. Back behind the net is Daniel Mark to set it up for the Cardinals. Cole Mulcahy over to Jackson Schwarzwater at the right wing. He was second in points last year with 30. Schwarzwater moving well through center. Has the puck. It's partly knocked off his stick at the point. Partly now it's Merja trying to get a step. Merja taken down with a clean check. Puck was loose behind the net and picked up by George Washington looking to get out of the zone. At the left wing, they have it, looking to get past Cole Mulcahy. He stops it, tried to push it into the zone. A little bit of a high check. Mulcahy's helmet partly came off as he fixes it and stays on the ice. George Washington dumps it into the Catholic end. Henry was looking for a pass to Simonson, and that was off the marked icing. 19:10 remaining here in the first period. So one thing we also mentioned about the clock is listen for the time. We won't always have the score bug updated
no running
on
clock.
the stream. Yeah, no running clock. We'll do our best with that. Defensive zone draw to the left of Daniel Mark. It's won by George Washington, trying to get around the defense of Joey Henry. In front, puck is back behind the goal. Good body play by Henry to try and separate the man from the puck. He gets it to Mulcahy. Johnson back behind the net, looking for McQueenie at the wing. George Washington gets there first. Puck bodies battle in the corner. Puck is loose into the high slot. Simonson falls. It's loose in front. Here's a shot, maybe. It kind of fell off the stick. It rolled off the stick. Cardinals got a little lucky as they were fishing in their own zone, and they still are. McQueenie can't get it off the puck. Here's a shot by George Washington. Save made by Mark. Rebound, and Mark's got that too.
Two great stops.
First 2 saves of the year for Mark.
Yeah, that puck looked like it was bouncing around. Easily could have lost track, but Mark continues to track the puck and makes 2 excellent saves to start the night off.
Start the year right.
Start the year right,
yeah.
Exactly.
1 rebound. I partly hit him in a tight area to kind of control the rebound, and the second one he was able to squeeze between
Looked like
his
there was
arms.
some traffic in front of the net, too.
Good job by Mark seeing pucks early. Here's a shot from the point, and that goes just wide of the goal. George Washington trying to keep it in at the line. They can't. And defensive play, Finnegan trying to step up in the play. The freshman from Rockville, New York, I believe, if I have that correct. Nonetheless, George Washington flings it into the zone. It's going to roll off the dasher all the way up to the right point. Finnegan trying to make a play on the puck, trying to clear. He's knocked down and still loose at the half wall. Centering in front was George Washington. It's off the mark. Selwyn tried to play it back behind the goal to his partner Deininger. That's partly off the mark, but they get enough of it and clear. Combs will clear all the way down the ice, and referees going to let this go. No icing here. Finnegan up in the play, trying to get to that loose puck. It was loose for a moment. He couldn't glove it down. Scott gets there as well, but he still can't get it back to his stick, and the puck will be cleared all the way out, all the way down, and it's going to be icing. Man, that was a late whistle. So 17:35 remaining here in the first period. Again, any questions, feel free to put them in the chat on YouTube. We'll do our best to answer them. Thank you for tuning in to the first game so far of the new season. It's a pleasure to be back, and I've been looking forward to this for a couple months, if I'm being completely honest. It's good to be back.
It's very exciting to be back.
Here's a shot from the point by Henry. May have been a pass. That's off the mark. George Washington, the Revolutionaries, clear. Mulcahy has it. Back at center ice, just cleared his defensive zone. Frees up the puck to Shoreswater. Tried to kick it to his feet. That's off the mark, and it's going to be cleared. Cross-corner dump by George Washington. Henry over to Mulcahy. He's going to try and clear. Not high enough. Looking for the pass into the center of the slot. Partly blocked again by the Cardinals. That's cleared all the way down with 17 minutes remaining here in the first. So good back-and-forth action here so far. A couple of shots on Daniel Mark. No shots on goal so far for the Cardinals. Mulcahy in his defensive zone. Makes the smart pass to Merja on the money, and he'll go for a cross-corner dump, hoping for the captain, Brendan Johnson. We'll go over assistant captains and captains when we have a second. Now, at the point, Johnson flings it looking down low. He was looking for Simonson. Simonson battles into the corner with him. Simonson couldn't get to it. George Washington clears the puck away from him. He cleared all the way out to Joey Henry. Puck was loose in his feet. Kicks it forward, but just to the blue line. And now at the other blue line, George Washington's onside as they wait. They hold. Looking for the pass down front. They score. George Washington with a beautiful pass in front. Mark got a piece, but not enough. It's 1-0 George Washington.
Not too much Mark can do there in a 2-on-1 type of situation. I thought he got a piece of that, but it seemed like it might have trickled through underneath the blocker, perhaps. I think he did all he could there.
I thought he actually made the save.
I thought he did as well.
Yeah.
I thought he had it. I think it just barely trickled through under the armpit.
And didn't see who got the goal on that play. We'll come back to that at intermission. We'll get an official word on who scored for George Washington, but the opening goal of the season goes to George Washington. So puck was flung in just from beyond the red line. Head coach Steven Terenzio arguing that a little bit, saying he was over the red line, but referees digress. And icing call here on Catholic. And Catholic did get beat along the boards. It's kind of started in a neutral zone with a defensive breakdown. It allowed the pass to get through in the high slot on Mark.
George Washington seems to be a quick-moving team. Cardinals need to take note of that.
And here's a quick shot off the draw. Save made by Daniel Mark. Looked like it may have been partly blocked as well on the way in. But yeah, I mean, George Washington has their legs. I believe this is also their first game, and obviously they have a little bit of a better practice regime going on as of now. It's a bit of a disadvantage for Catholic, but still time in this game. Catholic's hanging with George Washington
Still
early.
Very early in the game.
Now here's a turnover from Henry. Here's a shot looking for the pass down low. Was broken up. Still loose again. George Washington trying to cut in through center. Finnegan and Selwyn trying to keep the man at the perimeter. At the point, George Washington holds. That's Ethan Redden, their captain, the senior, who was the returning leading point scorer for George Washington. Here's a flip pass out of the zone by Finnegan. It's 2-on-2. Connor Combs and Brunner. That was off sides. Brunner at the left side. A little over-anxious first game back.
First game jitters. Everyone has them.
And he's off sides with 16:06 remaining here in the first period.
Giuliano, you mentioned that George Washington may have a better practice regime and that they certainly have the legs for this game, and we're looking over at their bench and they seem to have another line, maybe another line and a half compared to Catholic.
Yeah, that's a good point. I actually didn't even notice that myself. They have, looks like, 3 or 4 more players on their bench, and Catholic is at their usual, seems about 18.
15 to 18, something like that.
16, 17 maybe players on the bench. So defensive zone draw, there was a save by Mark as it was a long shot in on goal. He made the save. Defensive zone draw to the right of Mark. Won by, I believe it was Catholic, but they're having trouble in their defensive zone so far. Seems to be a bit of the problems early on. Here's a pass down low. Here's a shot that partly went off the post, or Mark may have made the save. Another shot close to the goal. Finnegan was waiting for the pass, but Mulcahy elects to take it himself. Mulcahy at center, flings it in on the goaltender. I want to say that's Jeremy Bach. I still don't have an official name here. I'm going to agree and say it's Bach. Nonetheless, Shoreswater trying to get around and looking for the pass in front to Scott. It was just off the mark. Henry at the point couldn't keep the puck in. The Cardinals are regrouped. Selwyn the pass across to Merja. Merja flipped it in across and behind the defenseman, but he's able to get back on his horse and move it away. The Revolutionaries turn the puck over behind their goal. Shoreswater looking in front to Merja. Oh, he didn't have his stick down in time. May have been a little far as well. At the line, Deininger. Nice play to keep it in. Catholic a little far away from the puck, and as a result, George Washington will clear. Selwyn trying to make a defensive play, able to hook that puck free to Shoreswater. Shoreswater in over the line, made a nice play, but too many moves as George Washington knocked the puck away from him. At center ice, bodies collide, a long shot in on Mark. He'll glove this down and hold it for a whistle with 14:29 to go.
Catholic coming close with an opportunity there in front of the net. It's kind of a hard pass to catch there on the backhand side of Frankie Merja, left-handed shooter.
Yeah, that was a bit of a hard pass for him to handle.
A little bit. Good opportunity. Hopefully many more to come.
Well, the message was right. It was the right play.
Absolutely.
And early on, pass is still not crisp, but there's still time to work on that. As now we're ready to take the face-off. Looked like the player had an issue with his helmet. We're ready to drop the puck as Selwyn will clear this puck all the way out through center. Two Catholic players going on the forecheck. It was Simonson who couldn't get there in time. And flung all the way down. Deininger is going to win that race. Close one. Deininger gets that icing call that the Cardinals needed. So 14-15 remaining here in the first period. George Washington has the early lead. Draw coming up to the left of the goaltender for George Washington. We will get his name, I promise.
It's a good chance for Catholic to get something going here with an offensive zone face-off.
They have the line of Johnson, McQueenie, and Simonson out there as the puck's going to roll to the goaltender, and he makes that save jumping on top of it. Not many hard saves he's had to make so far. No screens, just many long shots with clear vision.
Not too many shots on goal. One or two or three.
So Johnson in to take the draw again. The defensemen are Cole Mulcahy and Joey Henry. Mulcahy has the puck at the point, takes the shot. Save made off the right pad by the goaltender. Again, it's loose. Johnson breaks up the pass. Simonson takes a bit of a check at center. It's loose. Simonson flings it in, and he's going to roll to the goaltender. He's going to leave it for his defenseman, who has Simonson to deal with. Tries to bite him into the corner. Both players fall down. Puck is loose. Johnson at the left side at the half wall. Now was loose. Simonson, a nice pass to McQueenie. He couldn't get the shot on goal. Now Johnson, the shot. That's partly blocked. Or dismisses the goal, excuse me. Simonson looking for the pass in front as he takes a bit of a check. George Washington trying to come away with the puck. Henry knocked down with a reverse hit. And puck is dumped back behind the Catholic goal. Mulcahy takes a bit of a hard check. George Washington trying to deal for that puck. Penalty coming up here. Looks like it may have been a high stick or a slash or whatnot. As they point.
Was it Brunner?
Wait for the signal. It might be Will Brunner going to the box. I think you're right, CJ. Let's see what the official signal is. 2 minutes for...
I believe interference, he said?
Yes, interference is the call on Will Brunner. Unfortunately, the first man to take a penalty had to be somebody.
Looks like the game's starting to get real physical. Guys hitting each other. Open ice hits. All up in the boards. So Catholic has to defend the power play here.
Well, the game opening up here a little bit, as you can see. 5-on-4 for George Washington for 2 minutes. 13 minutes to go here in the first. Good puck movement from George Washington at the point. The one-time shot, it was partly blocked, I believe, by Deininger. George Washington still with the puck. They look for the pass into the high spot. The shot off the post. Oh, a good chance. Cardinals getting lucky. The Revolutionaries have it again at the left side point as they wait. They hold. Now the pass across at the faceoff dot, cutting in. Looking for the backhander, trying to maybe catch Mark moving across to the other side of the net. George Washington still with possession. Now at the right side dot, they take the shot on Mark. It's blocked. It's loose in front and cleared out of the zone. 1:15 remaining here in the first period. 12:30 remaining here. 12:30 remaining in the first. A minute 10 remaining on the penalty. Lots of speed. Here comes George Washington. Gets around the defense. In on goal! And Mark able to hold on.
Save.
Oh, what a save by Mark.
That was almost a highlight reel goal, but Daniel Mark says no.
Wow.
Huge save there.
Well, the Cardinals defense got burned on that play. And Mark able to extend, I believe, either his stick, his glove, with a beautiful desperation save.
Great job by Mark to keep this a one-goal game. Catholic has a minute and 3 seconds left on the penalty kill.
On the Brunner penalty. As at the point, here's a shot taken. That missed the net, hit off the glass at the point again. George Washington had some trouble with that puck, and now they have it. 50 seconds remaining on the penalty. At the red line, George Washington collects, looks in front, looking for the bam-bam play. It was broken up by the Cardinals. A lot of zone time here for George Washington, but the Cardinals bending but not breaking. So George Washington starts up again with about 30 seconds remaining. Oh, Merger almost with a takeaway here. Puck rolls free to Henry. He'll just shoot this puck in as the Cardinals go for a change. 20 seconds remaining on the Brunner interference minor. Here comes George Washington once again. Merger with a steal. Merger was reading the play perfectly, trying to get around the defense. He looks a bit tired, but nonetheless, he did his job.
He's putting in serious work down there.
7 seconds remain on the penalty. George Washington in over the line at the right side as they wait. They'll take the shot on Mark. Save made off the pad. Rebound was loose in front. Penalty was over. Here's a step for McQueenie. He's got Schwarzwater with him. Schwarzwater in on goal. He waits. He fires it. Oh, and the save made. What a save to keep the game with the 1-0 lead. Oh, my goodness.
Big save from Bach there on the breakaway.
I believe that's Jeremy Bach. We're going to roll with that for now. Bach with a great save. Schwarzwater is one of the better Catholic players. Oh, man, Schwarzwater knocked down the hit. Reverse hit. Good play. McQueenie now gets the puck at center. Gives it to Schwarzwater again. Schwarzwater has it. Stops. Waits. Looks over his options. One timer to Deininger. Players were colliding in front. It was McQuenie and number 5 for George Washington. But it looks like all is good, as referees say so. No penalties coming up. Puck loose behind the goal again. Catholic starting to get some of their legs back here. A little bit more motivation after the killed penalty. Deininger has it. Going to play it over to the corner or center ice boards. Scott couldn't get to it for the Cardinals. And back behind the net, Mark will leave it for Logan Selwyn. Selwyn having some trouble. Gets it over to Deininger. A bit of a turnover. Here's a quick shot, and that goes partly over the net. Finnegan looking for the pass to Brunner at center. Brunner pushes it further forward. Coming away with it is GW, or excuse me, now they don't. Brunner with another nice forechecking play, preventing George Washington from clearing. Now George Washington clears the zone, but guess who's on the spot again? It's Brunner who's able to dump that puck back in.
Brunner's applying a lot of pressure right now, we can see.
Yeah, he looks good so far.
Does look good.
Besides, after taking the penalties and making some good plays. In over the line is GW, looking to cut in on goal again, and nice play by Mulcahy at the last second to separate the man from the puck as the puck rolled away. Here's the deflection, a shot on goal. Mark makes the save again. He's been busy.
Big save there by Mark. I didn't think that puck was going on net, and it seemed to have gotten deflected through some traffic there. And Daniel Mark finds it. Good play there. Good play there by Mark. Catholic seems to be finding their groove, applying some more pressure in the neutral and offensive zones. Maybe looking to catch GW lacking.
Yeah, they're starting to pick up the forecheck.
They are.
And they're starting to make some plays. Looks like they're a little nervous early on and a little uncomfortable.
Understandable.
Now they're starting to look good. Shots on goal are 7-4 right now in favor of George Washington as well. Defensive zone draw to the right of Mark. McQueenie trying to get around the defense. Couldn't get to it that time. It's dumped back into the actually into the bench area.
Almost like that hit Cade. It did.
Oh, wow.
He shook it off. He's a goalie.
Hey, made his first save. First save as a Cardinal, not even in the game where he started.
Good job, Cade.
So that draw will come back out to the neutral zone. They're going to move this to center ice here. 9:27 remaining here in the first period. Johnson in to take the draw for CUA. He's the captain for Catholic University this year, taking over for Nick Lehan as Simonson made a nice play to get it to Johnson in front, looking for McQueenie for the deflection. Couldn't get it that time either. You see the Cardinals are setting up that play over and over, just not connecting so far. Still lots of time to go. McQueenie, oh man, he took a bit of looked like a forearm shiver to the face, but play will continue as in over the line is GW using their speed. Can't get around Henry. Nice play, but the puck's still loose again as here's a backhander on goal. That went high over the glass, or into the glass. Behind the goal again. Trying to get to it or wrap it in front at the point of one-time blast. It's blocked by Simonson. Nice play. He's going to take a big hit to make a play. Nice play for the young forward. In the neutral zone again, Simonson going after the man who just hit him. Couldn't get the hit that time, but still playing like a warrior so far. Loose at center ice. It's picked up by George Washington. Trying to get around. Good stick checking from the Cardinals. Still couldn't get the puck away from one of their defensemen. And floated into the zone by George Washington. Catholic defense having trouble again. Slowly it's picked up. Scott takes a check. Still loose again, and the Cardinals finally settling it down back behind their goal. Henry gets it across to his partner Mulcahy with a lot of open space. Mulcahy has room. Oh, he fired it and just missed it off the glass. Looking for the spot over the glove, but missed too high that time. Selwyn over to Shoreswater. Nice move to get around one guy. Here he comes. Takes the shot and just missed it. Oh, man, he had a lot of open space on the other far side of the goal. Selwyn back to Deininger. Off the boards, hoping for Shoreswater. That's off the mark, and George Washington will float this into the zone. Deininger with his head up. Gets the pass across to Frankie Merger, who he is an assistant captain this year. Cardinals don't have the letters yet for their jerseys for who's a designated captain and who's not. But Frankie Merger is an assistant. Jackson Shoreswater is an assistant. And Brendan Johnson is the captain. And Matthew Hornick will return as an assistant captain in the spring. Now, a lot of physicality going on along the ice. Selwyn takes out a man. It could have been a trip, but the referee lets that go. At the line, Finnegan trying to get the puck out of the zone. He couldn't. At the right side face-off dot, it's kept in. Now, into the high slot with lots of space. They'll fire the shot in on mark. They miss it high. 6:50 remaining here in the first period. Finnegan takes a bit of a hit. Puck goes away from him. It's loose. Picked up by Selwyn. He tried to go behind the net, hoping for Deininger. Brunner will get that pass to Deininger. And now over to Connor Combs at the right side. Combs trying to hit Finnegan. Finnegan had a step, but the pass was behind him, and he couldn't get the puck to go where he wanted it to. Now going the other way. Nice move around Johnson by George Washington. And now knocked away. Johnson with space at the left side. Trying to sidestep a check. He partly did, and he still is battling for that puck now at the goal line. Johnson takes a big hit. A bit of behind. Play continues here. Mulcahy is shot. Save made. Stepping up the play is Henry. Takes the shot. It's partly blocked. Nice play from George Washington as the play intensifies. McQueenie behind the George Washington net. Looking in front. Nice play on the stick lift. Gets the puck away from him. 6 minutes remaining here in the first period. Going up the right side and now skating at center. Here comes George Washington with open space. Gets around the Catholic defense in front for the open man. They just missed it off the mark. My goodness, that was close. Now McQueenie getting back in time to make a good defensive play. And he does again, trying to help the clear effort. He does that time as Simonson made a good play to clear as well. 5:40 remaining here in a fast-moving first period. Now it seems like a fast-moving first. Selwyn trying to clear off the zone. Partly blocked away. It's out just to center. George Washington is offsides. They'll dump this in with 5:30 to go here in the first. Mulcahy behind his goal. Looking to start up. Nice spin move, but didn't get anywhere. Elects to pass it across to Shoreswater. And out of the zone off the whiff, off the one-timer at the point. Catholic will get a break. Puck bouncing into the neutral zone. Picked up by George Washington. They'll float this one in on Mark, who is able to slow it down and leave it for his defenseman, Selwyn. Selwyn tried to clear. The puck popped off his stick. It was rolling. George Washington has it again. A lot of loose pucks. Players falling down. Oh, man. Man, everyone looks like they're still on summer vacation a little bit with all the falling. Puck is slow. Yeah, right. Puck is loose back in the defensive end. Looking for the home run pass broken up by Deininger and Finnegan. Finnegan, a nice play to kick it to or pass it to himself. He's in on goal, takes the shot. Man, almost finished it.
Almost slipped in.
Yeah, nice play by Finnegan. I think he batted that out of midair.
I think he did too.
What a play for the youngster from.
You can speak on it, Juliana. As a goalie, sometimes you get into that butterfly, you extend the leg. It's not all the way down, flush with the ice, and that's almost what happened there. But Bach looked like he was able to secure it just enough to keep from trickling through.
Yeah. Bach got just enough, and that's all that matters sometimes. Catholic almost got caught on the defensive side as they were looking for the home run pass, but Deininger able to get back in time, and it was also a bit of a poor pass, and that allowed Catholic to get away scratch-free. Now Finnegan trying to clear. It's loose again. George Washington picks it up. They fire it in on Mark. Save made. Rebound was loose. It's still loose. Brunner trying to clear. He can't. A quick shot from the point is blocked. Henry will get to it. Backhanding it out of the zone. They're trying to for Finnegan. He still can't. And Combs now will also try a backhander as he's still not able to get it out of the zone. Left side faceoff dot. Nice pass. Big save by Mark. I believe he got a piece of it with his skate. Henry again. Behind the goal, hoping for Deininger. Pass was out of his reach. George Washington will get it. Look to float it in on goal. It's blocked away. Henry again trying to clear at the right side to Combs. Combs just gets enough of it. Cardinals will get a change, but it's back behind their goal once again. Now both teams changing. Henry looking for the open man. Passes it to Johnson. Pass was off the mark and in on goal, or hoping for a pass in towards the goal, which George Washington was off the mark. Now loose again. Simonson trying to get it over to Johnson and off the mark. And referee's arm, he spotted something. I missed what was going on that play.
Perhaps a hooking call.
Wait and see what team it's on. It looks like it's on George Washington, number 23. He'll head to the box. And hooking is the call on Jacob Bergerman, the native of Oak Park, California. He's also one of their assistant captains. And from what I'm seeing right now, there's no disrespect to him, not leading by example. We don't want to be in the penalty box. But nonetheless, Catholic on the Prince power play for the first time this season. Deininger walks it in, fires it. Save made. Rebound was loose. George Washington trying to clear. Nice stick from Deininger to keep it into the zone. Johnson now looks over his options. Back to Deininger and back to Johnson as they play catch. Johnson behind the net, looking in front, looks to go to Shoreswater. The puck was off the mark and out of the zone. 3 minutes to go here in the first period. 1:30 remaining on the penalty. Deininger gets it in over the line. He's by himself. Puck was knocked off his stick, and George Washington will clear, but only to center. Shoreswater trying to get on that puck. Over to Nolan Scott. Puck was off the mark. Johnson couldn't get it either, and shorthanded, George Washington skates into the zone, and a penalty coming up on Catholic. Looks like a high stick. Didn't see who took the high stick. I believe it's Shoreswater.
Big chance for the Cardinals, not so much anymore. Little 4-on-4 action. Seems like the Cardinals are just a bit nervous. First power play of the season. Trying to get the systems down and everything. Not looking too bad from what we're seeing. Just have to calm down a little bit and control those nerves.
So after the minor to Bergerman, it'll be around a 40-second power play for George Washington as they look for the pass in front. Oh, they had it wide open, but off the mark was the pass, and the Cardinals get lucky again. Here comes Joey Henry moving left to center on the 4-on-4. Henry has it. He waits. Drops it to Merja. Merja. Nice spin move to get some space. Merja has it. Partly lost the puck. And here comes George Washington with the 4-on-4. One man by himself trying to cut in on goal. He's knocked off the puck, and no, he isn't. Still has it. At the line, George Washington has it. Going to float it to Henry. 40 seconds remaining on the Bergerman penalty, so 4-on-4 will remain until then, until it's over. Henry across to Mulcahy. Takes his time and slowly will float this, hoping for Scott. Gloves it down, has the puck. It's rolling. He cuts into center, hoping it will settle down for him. Passes it to Johnson, saying, I don't want that hot bouncing puck. It's still bouncing, and Scott couldn't finish it at the other side. Big hit. And that's going to be a penalty here on Catholic. He had the puck. There. And on goal again is George Washington. Big save by Mark. A lot of action here. So penalty on Mulcahy, and now after the whistle, Henry shoving players.
Coach Terenzio does not look happy. Righteously so. I don't understand the call. I thought it was either a clean hit or just an unlucky collision. I didn't think it was necessarily dirty or penalty worthy.
I missed the
What do they
signal.
call-
Did he call it trip?
They call it trip?
They thought it was a low hit.
Because I was looking at the guy that got hit and fell, right? Maybe
Well,
was there a trip that we missed?
That was the call.
Huh.
I think that's. I don't know how I feel about that call.
I'm a
Interesting.
little confused, yeah.
I'm confused on that one as well. I'll have to do some research and see what the rationale was on that. But it's going to be a 4-on-3 for 10 seconds. So lots of open space. A one-timer from the point. Oh, a big save
Good
by
stop.
Mark. He got a piece of it. Mark wants a whistle. It may have hit him in the head. Still loose again. Now it's going to be a 5-on-3 for about 35 seconds. Lots of open space for George Washington. Catholic needs a kill. At the right face-off dot. They walk it in. And the puck was off the mark as now he falls. Another penalty coming up from the Cardinals. Johnson will go to the box. 2 minutes for tripping. Going to be an extended 5-on-3.
3 guys in the box for Catholic.
Wow.
Not looking good. Maybe those jitters I mentioned a few minutes ago starting to get at the Cardinals.
And the jitters slowly setting in. I'm still confused as to what the Mulcahy penalty was. I thought maybe he led with the elbow at the end, but that wasn't the signal.
Yeah, it was a tripping call.
Interesting. So 5-on-3, going to be a long 5-on-3 here. Looks like a face-off violation with a minute left here in the first period. So we'll have a lot to dissect in the intermission. It didn't seem like there was going to be a lot, but now there is, and it makes our jobs a bit more difficult. So 1 minute to go here in the first period. Shoreswater in to take the draw for Catholic. And as we await the drop of the puck, it looks like they tossed out.
I think he just...
Oh, they're waiting for the referee from the scorer's table. As off this draw, Shoreswater can't win it. It's won by George Washington. They have time with space with the puck at the point. Looking for the open man. It's Ethan Redden with the puck. Going to float this across, hoping for the man. The Catholic can't clear off the bounce. Here's a shot on mark. They score. 2-0 George Washington. 5-on-3 power play goal, and Catholic now facing a 2-goal deficit.
Kind of just walked right in on Mark.
It was a bit of an interesting play. The Cardinals partly blocked the first pass. It kind of bounced back to the
puck
forward.
It was bouncing and rolling and kind of going crazy in there.
Yeah, puck is bouncing a lot in this rink.
It is. It's an awfully bouncy sheet of ice, I guess.
Well, could also be because, with how everything else connects into this rink.
Yeah.
Well, the St. James has a lot of different, they have baseball here, they have rock climbing, a lot of different
basketball, indoor soccer stadium. I mean,
it's not solely a hockey
it's quite
rink.
impressive, yeah.
And as it is impressive, but as a result, it's not as cool in here as you like it to be sometimes. It's actually a bit warm.
Yeah, I don't, you see me, I'm standing here, I don't even have a jacket or anything, and I'm doing okay.
So it's probably the reason I feel like that play continued is it bounced back to George Washington, and they walked right in on Mark and beat him under the blocker, make it 2-0. So referees trying to sort out the penalties here. Catholic still has, they're looking to see, it was the Mulcahy penalty up when they scored that goal. I believe it was. So I believe now it was, they're talking things over at the scores table. We'll just wait as we have a few minutes. Catholic will be taking the ice next Saturday, the 27th, against George Mason University at Tucker Road Ice Arena. I believe game time is set for 9 o'clock, and we'll have coverage for that game as well. Yes, 9 o'clock. Rink's about 30 minutes from campus if you're looking to make the trip. The Cardinals' next game will be against George Mason at home, the home opener.
Big home opener.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
And that's a tough game, too. George Mason isn't always, I'm not saying they're not talented, but they've had some trouble putting that together.
They have been a bit inconsistent over the past few seasons, absolutely.
But for whatever reason, and you got to give them credit, they always play tight games against Catholic.
Always.
They've played, in the couple years that I've called games against them, Catholic has either lost, they've only blown out George Mason one time. And every other game has either been a tough loss or very close win.
Very close, 1 or 2 goal.
Yes.
Difference.
Got to give them credit for that. So, could be a tough game at home on next Saturday. So 48 seconds remaining here in the first. Still have the 2 penalties on the board. It's still a 5-on-3 as the way the referees called it. Now in on goal again is George Washington. They beat Mark again, 3-0. Oh, it's a beautiful move on the backhand, and the Cardinals pay. They got beat off the draw, 3-0. Mark got run into after the play as well by one of his defensemen on accident, but Cardinals had the puck initially.
Hopefully Mark is okay there.
Yeah. Cardinals had the puck initially off the draw, and again, I feel like it bounced away from them. They were slipping and sliding a little bit.
It almost bounced back offsides. It barely stayed on sides there.
Yeah, it did, and it beat Mark with a nice backhander into the top of the net.
Not much he can do there.
Practically a 2-0.
It's practically, yeah.
So it's 3-0 here. There's 41 seconds to go here in the first period. Now it's a 5-on-4 as they took off, and they're still looking to see what penalty to take off the board. I think the Mulcahy penalty only had 16 seconds, so he should still, and he is out of the boxes. He's on the ice. So 5-on-4, Johnson will sit for a minute 53 still. And the Cardinals now facing a 3-goal deficit in their opening game of the season. At center ice, puck is loose, picked up by Merja. They need a spark. Merja floats it in on goal. Oh, goaltender had trouble with that puck. 25 seconds to go here. Shots 11-8 in favor of George Washington. In over the line, George Washington has possession of it, trying to get around Mulcahy. Trying to find that puck. They get around Mulcahy again. Puck was loose at the side of the goal. Cardinals clear it all the way down. 10 seconds to go. And George Washington not in a lot of pep to pick up that loose puck. And that's where we'll end the first period. George Washington in front, 3-0 after 1. So not the start the Cardinals wanted for their opening game of the season so far. It's 3-0 after 1. We'll have the intermission in a few moments to dissect what went wrong in that first period. We'll be back to talk about it in a few minutes. Thank you for tuning in on WCUA. We'll be back in a few. We're back live from the St. James here in Springfield, Virginia. We're going to briefly talk about the first period. First goal was scored by Joe Hecht, and that was the goal where it was the bang-bang play at the front of the net. Mark actually got a piece but couldn't get enough. What did you see, CJ?
I think there was just a lot going on there in front of the net. As we've mentioned several times already, the puck is bouncing around a lot. There was some traffic there in front of the net. Not too much Mark could do. I mean, it was kind of a 2-on-1 situation. It took me a second to remember the goal, but yeah, kind of a 2-on-1. Bunch of guys in front of the net. Mark was deep in the crease defending the corner, and he had to slide over to the middle of the net. Not much he could do. His angle was already cut down.
Yeah, that was a tough one for Daniel Mark, as was the second one. The second goal was the one where they kind of navigated their way through the center, the Catholic zone, and right in on Daniel Mark with a wrist shot, beat him under the glove, or blocker.
Yeah, one player kind of just skated in, did it himself. Was that the second or the third goal?
That was the second.
The second goal was, okay, yes, yeah, beat him under the blocker. I think another goal, Mark was deep in the crease. You and I both know as goalies, anytime the puck is in the corner behind the net, it becomes hard to defend both sides, or also, you have to defend both sides as well as what's in front of you. So I think he just got deep into the crease, and guy was waiting there wide open.
And the third goal was scored by, or the second was Tally Jervis, and the third goal was scored by, I believe his name was Bersoni. We'll talk more about that when we have a second, as the second period's underway here in the St. James. 3-0 GW if you're just joining us. Now, Ethan Redden had the puck, dropped it off to his defenseman. In over the line is GW. They still have a power play, a minute to work with. Henry couldn't get the puck out of the zone. At the point, GW sets up shop. Back down low again. It's loose and picked up by the Revolutionaries as they look for the pass across, broken up by Nolan Scott. Nice play. Catholic needs a kill here if they want to get back in this game. At the point, they fake the one-timer. At the left side dot, the fire in on Mark. Big block by Henry. Now, with time, 30 seconds to go here on the penalty. Pass was off the mark. Catholic gets to it. Okay, he will clear all the way down the length of the ice.
That's a big play.
With 20 seconds remaining, we also found out who the goaltender was. It is number 1, Gavin Silvazzi. We have his stats from last year. We'll read them off in a moment. Now, moving the puck out through center. GW trying to knock it down. Catholic gets to it first. 5 seconds remaining on the penalty. Henry takes a hard hit and couldn't clear the zone. GW looking for the pass across. They get it! And Mark with a wonderful save.
Huge save there by Mark.
Oh, man. Had the play perfectly, and Mark read it like a book.
That's a big save early in the second period. Hopefully that gets the boys fired up. Big save can change the momentum in a game.
Oh, man. That could have been the turning point right there.
That could be. Hopefully that lights a spark under Catholic and get a goal or two here and chip away getting back in this game.
And that was as the penalty expired, too.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, absolutely. Puck loose at the boards again at the right side. Still loose again. Catholic trying to get to it. Deininger will get onto it. Finnegan looking for the pass across to Johnson or McQueenie. It's out of the reach for both of them. And GW, once again, will have to regroup and look for the pass out of the zone. A little flip pass up the length to the left side of the ice. Deininger will get it for the Cardinals. Back behind his goal, he overskates the puck, and GW will gain possession of it. GW at the point. They wait. Look for the pass at the boards again. Johnson tried to play the puck out of midair. Finnegan floats it ahead. Johnson trying to beat the man to the puck, but it looks like he won't. But had the puck again as Johnson has it. Johnson looking for the pass down low to McQueenie. It was partly blocked, and GW will clear. Going down the length of the ice, puck will roll to the wide of the goal for icing. Puck was wobbling a bit, but referees saw it as icing, and I believe that was the right call.
Obviously, Catholic here back to full strength, 5-on-5 hockey. Hopefully Catholic makes the smart plays, stays out of the box, and that could be a huge game changer here because Catholic was starting to cook up before those penalties and starting to apply some real pressure on George Washington here. Hopefully they can keep that, they can regain that momentum, and maybe this game will get closer.
Well, 4 penalties in a row will do that to you. 2 tripping calls, a high stick, and a cross check was the official
brutal
tally on Will Brunner. And all of those were pretty much in consecutive minutes outside of the Brunner penalty, and that really changed the tide.
All back to back. Oh,
pass down low to Combs, a shot.
Oh.
And that was partly blocked. Good look for Connor Combs up in the play. Loose again. Cardinals getting a bit physical at the line. Henry couldn't keep it in. Cardinals will have to regroup. Mulcahy has it. Floats, fakes the pass.
Oh.
And has the puck in over the line. Mulcahy across to Combs. He fires a shot and a save made by Silvazzi. They rode high over the goal. George Washington trying to get ahead of the pack, but Mulcahy's able to get to him. The pass shot in on Mark. He makes the save. Combs floats it all the way down. It's going to roll in on goal or just wide of the goal, and icing again on Catholic.
Good save there by Silvazzi, getting just enough of it
and we have
to knock it away into the corner.
And we have Silvazzi's stats, too. He's from Colonia, New Jersey. It's his second year here at George Washington University. He only played one game last year, and he has a goals against of 9 and a save percentage of 70. And so far, those numbers don't tell the story. He has made some good saves so far. I don't think the Cardinals have tested him a bunch, but he's made the saves he's needed to make
Absolutely.
to keep his team in the game. And that's big. Doesn't matter what game it is. If you're making saves like that, then you're giving your team a chance to win. Now, Simonson. Nice play getting around 2 defenders. Simonson looking to cut in on goal, but he couldn't get the puck to his stick. Still loose in the O-zone. Simonson still chasing. And as will Nolan Scott try and free up that puck. Scott trying to get to it. Partly blocked behind the net by George Washington and broken up by Schwarzwater. Puck's still bouncing a lot here. Schwarzwater behind the net over to Simonson. Back to Schwarzwater as they play catch. Schwarzwater back down low. Again to Simonson. Simonson elects to push it away from the defender's skates. It was a nice play, and it forces GW to, guess what, ice the puck. Nice play by Simonson and Schwarzwater. This
is that pressure that I've been mentioning, that we've both been mentioning and talking about throughout the game. If Catholic finds a way to continue to put this pressure on, then it could seriously cut this deficit in half and maybe get things real close. We could have a hockey game here. Only 3 goals, 3-0, George Washington. That's 16 minutes left in the second period. Not even halfway through the game.
Lots of time to go here. The shot totals are still pretty low. Only 20 shots in this game. 3-0 to score.
Definitely a game where quality of shots is more than quantity.
Now Deininger back behind his net. Oh my goodness.
No.
Deininger with a defensive breakdown on that play. He passed it to the complete other side. The wrong side, it looked like, and no one was there except for GW. I think Mark wasn't ready for that as well. He's unhappy with himself. They bank it off the side of Mark into the back of the goal. It's 4-0. Terenzio wants a word with the referee saying it was no goal, or something of that nature. Right now, it's 4-0 as it stands. With 15:51 to go here, this is going to count. He wants a penalty or something of some sort, I'm not sure, but defensive breakdown, and the Cardinals pay for it again. It's 4-0. Now Schwarzwater off the draw, went back to Selwyn, who wasn't necessarily ready for that pass, and GW picks it up again. They try to start a Michigan play on Daniel Mark. The puck rode off the stick. Loose again, looking in front. Catholic's Deininger goes feet first into the boards. Could be a dangerous play. He gets back up. Still with possession of the puck is GW.
It's rolling.
Still, man, this puck is rolling a lot.
Looks like it bounced to Catholic's advantage there.
Yeah, Deininger has it. He's in over the line, looking for some space. Deininger tripped, and there goes the call. Ref's arm. Penalty coming up.
Take it.
On GW for tripping. Wait and see who the penalty's on for GW. Looks like it is number 36.
36.
Tom Maripodi, junior defenseman from Saratoga Springs, New York, will sit for 2 minutes.
Should be a huge chance for Catholic to get on the board here. 2 minutes, as long as Catholic stays out of the box themselves. Just relaxes a little bit and trusts the system. They were looking real good on the power play that they began with last period.
Yeah, they did, and we'll see if they have a full 2 minutes to work with here. Mulcahy across to Deininger. Deininger, he was looking for the pass across, and it rode off his stick, and one-on-one going the other way with Mulcahy is one of the GW players, but it was broken up. Now Mulcahy with the puck behind the net again. Mulcahy has it. Looks for the open room at the right side over to Schwarzwater. Schwarzwater across over to Deininger. Deininger has some open space, elects to take it on sides and dump it behind the goal, hoping for Shoreswater. Shoreswater has it. He still has the puck. Second in points for the Cardinals last season with 30. He led the team in goals. Looking in front. Oh, almost bounced the Cardinal away that time into the back of the goal, but it's partly blocked and down the length of the ice. We got 14:21 remaining here in the second period as Mulcahy hands off from Daniel Mark. Gets the puck. He's struggling with that puck. Gets it over to Shoreswater. Puck loose in the slot again. And now back behind the goal. Safely back with the Cardinals. Now, puck still bouncing around. It's picked up by CUA again. Mulcahy has it. And looks to settle it down for a little bit. I mean, Catholic with some good looks early on the power play and not so much afterwards as they look to start up again. 35 seconds remaining here in the penalty. Shoreswater had the puck go off his stick again. Man, this puck is bouncing a lot, I got to say. And once again, gets away from Catholic. Merger knocks a man down. Looks like it'd be like a clean hit to me. And again, GW will just get the puck. Look to fire it in the zone, but here comes Brendan Johnson with a burst of speed. Johnson has it right side, looks to cut in, and still loose again. Merger one time, a shot that goes wide of the goal, almost into the back of the goal for a second.
Yeah.
And cleared out by GW. 7 seconds remaining on the power play. And that'll end the first Cardinal power play of the year. An interesting one for sure, but none not too productive. So Mulcahy looking for open space to McQueenie. Puck was off his stick. George Washington picks it up. They're in on sides. Big hit by Will Brunner, but the puck is still free. Picked up by Mulcahy. He's trying to clear. Loose again at center ice, and McQueenie has it with a spurt of speed. Looks to float it in on the goaltender, who tried to put it in his glove, and now will safely cover up for a whistle. So 12:55 remaining here in the second. George Washington killing off the penalty. And Catholic still looking to get the momentum back on their side. Shots are 12-10 in favor of George Washington. As the puck was dropped, it's back behind the side of the George Washington goal. Now with the point again, Catholic trying to keep it in. And at center ice, Logan Selwyn will control. Selwyn looking to go to Finnegan. Finnegan just plays it back to Selwyn, and he'll play it across ice to Deininger. Deininger over to McQueenie. Has to settle down the puck, and now he gets it behind the defenseman. McQueenie has it. Both players battle for the puck. It's loose along the boards, picked up by GW and out of the zone. As over to Mulcahy. He'll float this puck into the zone with 12:16 remaining here in the second. This puck will go almost the length of the ice. I believe it was over the red line, so no icing here. Deininger has it. Nice little nifty move to get the defenseman falling. He'll float this puck up out of the into the center zone. Picked up by Simonson with a burst of speed, trying to get the puck. Rolls to Shoreswater. His shot was blocked, and still loses. George Washington picks up the loose puck, trying to go for the home run pass over to
Puck is just bouncing.
one of their forwards. Cardinals get it away. Man, this puck is bouncing. You're right, CJ. Here's a quick shot on Mark. He'll make that save. At the point again, George Washington has it to fire the shot. Slap shot in on goal. It's blocked partly and bounced away. Shoreswater at the right wall. Again at the point. Here's a shot deflected, or partly blocked, by Nolan Scott. Scott up the board to Shoreswater. He had a 2-on-1 brewing, but the pass was out of his reach, and George Washington will control with 11:20 to go here in the second period. 4-0 to score in favor of George Washington.
Big hit on the boards.
Yeah, big hit by both 27, Shoreswater and the 27 for GW. There's a big hit on Logan Selwyn. Looked to be like a clean hit as well as Mark holds on. The Cardinals weren't happy with the hit. May have been a tad bit high. I thought it was okay. I don't see any penalties coming out of this. I thought that was a clean hit. Henry's trying to argue it was high. I don't know.
Might have been a borderline hit.
Yeah,
I didn't see it closely enough to say anything about it, but the game has been getting physical here and there. Some spots I've noticed some guys battling really. I know Shoreswater and number 8 for George Washington, Ryan Janeshill. They were going at it earlier during the Cardinals power play.
They sure were. As the physicality, like you mentioned, just continued on the previous play. Face-off won by GW. Puck loose in the slot. Good play by Merger to tie up the stick as they were going for a quick one-timer shot. At the line again. Puck bounces high in the air. and still bounces on the ice. It's like a basketball out there, man.
It
really is bouncing a ton. Something that, I guess, something you have to keep in mind when you come back to this rink.
Absolutely.
As Henry will shoot this puck in, it's going to go the length of the ice. Referee's going to wave this one off for no icing. 10:30 remaining here in the second period. 4-0 to score still. At the line, and again, Henry couldn't keep. It's going to go the length of the ice. Referee's going to call this icing. There's a hit along the boards, too, that no one's got wanted a penalty on GW for. I'm going to be honest, I didn't see it. I think the no call was the right call that time. 10:29 remaining here in the second. CJ, do you see a lot of momentum from Catholic, or do you feel like they're playing kind of flat?
I see a little bit of both. I see spurts of momentum here and there. Like, we saw a few times in the first period there, and once or twice here thus far in the second period. Catholic seems to be applying great pressure to George Washington, and it seems to be working. And then, for whatever reason, either I guess they commit a penalty or just lose the energy, it just seems to go away. But I feel like if Catholic were to keep applying this pressure and making, GW nervous here, make them fumble the puck, then I feel like things could go very well for Catholic.
As here comes GW, they have some room to take a shot on Mark. The nice backhander goes behind the goal.
I think the net's off.
It is off, and there's the whistle.
The right call, babe.
Oh, one of my favorite things to do when I was playing, I don't know about you, in a game like this where you need the whistles, if those pegs are off just a little bit, I'm making sure they come off. I want the whistle.
No, absolutely. If they're not secured in there, maybe push off the post a little extra, get a whistle.
In a game like this, you need this sometimes. Yeah, I don't blame Daniel Mark. Any whistles you can get are good, especially with a score like this. Here's a
good
shot
save
on Mark.
there.
Save made off the blocker. Now at the left side faceoff dot, George Washington controls again. As they look for the pass. Oh, nice pass across by Redden.
Impressive.
And nice diving stick by Mulcahy to try and knock the puck away. Still picked up by George Washington as they're behind the goal. Redden has the puck. He waits. He holds. Tries to, get this guy to move into the slot so I can pass it. Elects to take it back out towards the point by himself. Now back behind the goal and across, looking in front for the pass. Broken up by Catholic. At the line, Catholic gets lucky, and George Washington can't keep it in.
Another bounce working in favor of Catholic there. I think the puck was going to stay on sides until it bounced again.
Now, knocked down by a stick by Mulcahy. Puck is still bouncing, and Connor Combs tried to step into a player that time, but George Washington keeps on trucking into the zone. Pass goes across indirectly to the winger. The fence went up in the play. Save made by Mark off the blocker. 8:55 remaining here in the second period. Player knocked down was one of the GW players. Referees say it was fine. And the puck rolls to, man, it was loose for a second. Mark had to dive to get to that puck, and coming away with the puck now is Catholic. It's Matthew McQueenie on the left side. McQueenie trying to make the great escape. Has it, looks for the backhander, and it's partly blocked by the goaltender. Puck is still loose behind the goal. Johnson trying to get to it. George Washington skates away. The left side, at the right side, at center ice. They're in line again. There's a quick shot on Mark, goes wide of the goal. Deininger at the right side boards takes a hit. And now trying to get the puck back over to Deininger one more time. There's a shot taken as George Washington came away with the puck. It was also blocked. The right side goal line. Catholic trying to get to it. Selwyn over to the left side, over to Simonson. Now loose into the slot. A shot. That's partly blocked away. Again, George Washington controlling. Deininger trying to settle down the bouncing puck. He's got it, and it still rolls on him. Deininger trying to get that puck back. It was lost in his skates and now picked up by Johnson. Johnson with some room. Johnson, a 2-on-1. He waits, gets around the defense, fires it. Oh, he missed it just wide of the goal. Puck is loose again. Man, oh man. Not a lot of
good chance there.
Good chances for Catholic. That was one of them. He shot it wide that time. Now Schwarzwater trying to kick the puck back to his feet. Takes a hit into the corner board. Still has the puck though. And now Scott trying to battle for it. And Schwarzwater will pick it up. Schwarzwater tried to get around the defense with a move. It was taken away at the left side. Pass was broken up again by Catholic. Frankie Merja has it with Schwarzwater. Merja fires the shot. The save made by Silvazzi. Off the blocker, it looked like. Rebound to the corner. Puck loose again at center. Mulcahy. A crossover to Schwarzwater. He waits. Looks to gain the red line and fire into the zone, but it was blocked. Now all the way down behind the Catholic goal. 6:54 remaining here in the second. Catholic still down by 4. Henry. Pass across over to Mulcahy. It may have been off a glove further out of the zone. GW taking their time. Float it back into the Catholic end. Catholic floats it out. GW controls in the neutral zone. As the puck was off a stick, and a long pass for a shot by Mulcahy was blocked back into the Catholic end. Henry, a crossover to Nolan Scott, trying to get on his horse here. Gets it over to Finnegan. Finnegan across to Scott. Oh, he had the good look. It was a nice play to try to make the pass into the center ice, but it was broken up again. So Mulcahy back in his defensive end. As the puck hits something along the bench, and that'll be a whistle with 6:10 remaining here in the second period.
It's funny you mentioned earlier because the St. James is a big sports complex, and the temperature in here might be a little off. I'm looking around and seeing several fans here in short sleeve T-shirts. It's not something you see every day at a hockey rink.
No, it really is pretty warm in this rink. There's a shot on Mark.
Yeah.
And I feel, as you know, when you walk into a rink and it's a bit warm, you got to ask yourself, does that play into the quality of the ice?
Absolutely.
And in a game like this, I mean, this puck is bouncing constantly. It can't seem to settle down.
Wonder if there's a lot of the ice looks like they might be a little dented up, a little messed up, causing the puck to bounce. I think part of that has to come, it's not cold enough to stay frozen,
Right.
It's melting and there's little chips everywhere. And
yeah, it's definitely something the Cardinals are playing against, but their opponent is as well. And
absolutely.
give them credit. I'm sure they know how to play against here, too. Here's another shot in on
Good
Mark.
save.
Save made maybe off the mask or chest of Mark. It's a big collision in the corner with Mulcahy. He gets up first, but George Washington still has the puck. Behind the goal, Joey Henry trying to keep the puck away from the defender. So he winds up maybe taking a man down with a trip. Nonetheless, penalty is not coming up that GW wanted. Cole Mulcahy with 5 minutes remaining here in the second. Catholic looking for any sparks of life here. Gets the puck to Cones, but he can't get it out of the zone. Picked up and controlled by GW. There's going to be a penalty coming up here. I didn't see it. I was away from the play. Well, it had to have been on GW, I'm imagining. Yes, it is on GW. As it looked like maybe Combs caught an elbow up high. Let's see what the signal is. Number 20, Joe Hecht, who scored the opening goal of this game. Going to be a 2-minute penalty. I didn't see the signal.
Yes, I don't think he's given it yet.
I think it was interference, or I'm not sure. I guess you could say interference.
They'll take the power play, though.
But yeah, Catholic, pretty power play out there for the third time tonight is off the draw. The Catholic Cardinals can't win the draw. It's cleared all the way down the length of the ice. So Mulcahy has it. Over to Deininger. Deininger across over to Shoreswater. Shoreswater trying to get around George Washington's defense. Couldn't that time. And behind the goal, GW has a lot of room, or they had a lot of room. Catholic forecheckers got there quickly to press the issue. And Shoreswater will try and get it behind the Nolan Scott. Over to Jackson Deininger. Deininger again battling along the boards with Johnson, trying to free up the puck. Johnson gets it. Johnson looks. He's pestered a little bit by his foes, but gets the puck over to Deininger. Back out to Mulcahy. Back to Deininger. Plays catch to Mulcahy. The puck, again, rode off the stick of Mulcahy, but they still have possession with a minute left on the power play. Shoreswater has it. A little flip pass down low to Johnson. Johnson having trouble with it in his body along the boards, and GW will clear the zone. I think we need to try and get a shot on goal there at least. A lot of passes. Shoreswater over to Deininger. Into the middle, hoping for Scott. The puck was out of his reach. GW will get there first and clear, and they may have a 2-on-1. Short-handed 2-on-1. Catholic trying to get back. Redden has it, fires it. Glove saved by Mark.
Good stop there. Daniel Mark making glove save look routine. 2-on-1 chance there for George Washington. That could have ended poorly.
Yeah.
Short-handed as well.
Absolutely. I mean, the Cardinals are
looking a little flat this period.
They look flat. That power play, I don't know what they're seeing. I'm not on the ice, but they look a little too indecisive, especially down 4. Just get the puck on goal.
Just start shooting on net.
Now here's Merja. He's got Finnegan with him. Merja still has the puck at the right side. Face-off dot. Looks to set up shop. 25 seconds remaining on the power play. Merja to Finnegan and back to Merja. Steps into a shot. Save made, Silvazzi. And back behind the goal over to Selwyn. who's up on the play. Selwyn floats it in on goal. Rebound
wow.
loose and cleared away by GW. Not out of the zone. Now it's out of the zone. Finnegan's got to skate back. It's a 2-on-1. That looked offside. The right call made by the referee.
I'm amazed Selwood got that on goal.
Yeah.
He kind of just 180 flung it on the net. It's a good shot. Those are the type of shots Catholic needs, because you see GW's goalie down there was clearly thrown off by that.
Yeah, he
he hasn't seen the most shots this game. He's seen 11 shots thus far with 3:18 left in the second period. So if Catholic can do more of that, they might have success.
Yeah, 3:18 remaining here in the second. That's only their 11th shot on goal. I mean, he's seen, I think, 3 shots in this period?
I think, yeah, that's about right.
Especially with a quick shot like that, you're cold, you're not seeing pucks.
Yep.
That's one that's likely to maybe have a higher chance of going in. Now shorthanded, a quick shot on Mark. He makes the pad save. Mercer gets it back. Penalties up. It's 5-on-5 play with 3:07 remaining here in the second. Mercer with room, has it at the left side. Tried to float it in on goal. Still has the puck as he fanned on it. Finnegan tried to get to it in the high slot. Knocked away by the Revolutionaries. Henry across, hoping for Finnegan. It's going to be in the zone. No icing until it was over the red line. Simonson trying to step into a man. At the point, Selwyn steps up. Puck is out of the zone and picked up by GW, 2-on-1. Henry caught up in the play. Puck was a little bit out of reach for GW, and that played a key role in the Cardinals not...
Two saves.
I was going to say, not giving up a goal, and almost was.
Two saves there by Danny Mark.
Yeah, 2 good saves. One off the pads, it looked like, or maybe both?
I think both. Shot, rebound, save.
So 2:20 remaining here in the first. Here's a stretch pass up to Connor Combs. Combs has room. It looks like he's hoping for someone to get to that puck, and no one did. He was blindly hoping to pass to Simonson. Puck is still loose. Simonson takes a man down. Nice check. 2 minutes remaining here in the second period. 4-0 on GW so far. GW has it to the left side. Into the high slot. They rip the shot. They score. Screen in front of Mark. No chance. It's 5-0. Sometimes it seems like it's 1 step forward for the Cardinals and 2 steps back. You got a man standing wide open in front of your goaltender. He has no chance to make that save.
Skated right in, sniped him. What looked like low glove, I believe.
Yeah.
Through the screen and some traffic in front of the net. Not much, as I've said this earlier in this game, but not much Daniel Mark can do about that, unfortunately.
Yeah. Cardinals just... they make a nice play, and like I said, they make 2 steps backward.
Yeah,
and a lot of that I think is because a lot of the players on defense are a bit younger. I think the oldest defenseman is a sophomore.
I think so. Yeah,
something new.
Mulcahy and Deininger
and Henry, all sophomores.
And Henry, yeah,
and Selwyn too. All of them are sophomores. And that's not to say that they haven't been playing a good game. And there's been some good plays that they've made, but the inexperience is catching up against a much more experienced club in GW right now.
Absolutely.
So under 2 to go here in the second. Deininger behind his net will look to start up. Penalty coming up here. Ref has his hand up here, so this is going to be another penalty on GW. Ref spotted that from...
slashing, it looks like.
Yeah. Another power play for Catholic. Let's see if they can get something going. Just something to get themselves on the board and something to build off of before the period ends. So the penalty is going to be on. Man, he's not happy with the call, slamming his gloves in the box. So I'm going to be honest, didn't see the penalty.
I didn't see it either. But again, we'll take the power play.
Yeah.
Maybe we can capitalize off this one, hopefully.
So penalty to GW for 2 minutes.
Catholic wins the face-off there.
Catholic power play goes to work, trying to get on the board.
Just got to get some shots on goal here.
Yes, you have to.
Doesn't have to be perfect or pretty. Just get their goalie working.
Floated in on goal. Johnson has it back behind his goal, looking to stuff it maybe on the goaltender. It's loose to Shoreswater. So power play will go until the end of the period unless the Cardinals score, which hopefully they do. Okay, he looks for open room at the point. Back over to Shoreswater to left side. Shoreswater waits. Pass across to Deininger. Had the right play in mind, but the puck was too hard. Came too hard off the boards. Loose at center. Picked up by GW again. GW onside, trying to get around the defense. Okay, he knocks the man down.
Good play there.
I thought that was a clean check.
It was. It was a clean push.
40 seconds remaining here in the second period. 1:10 remaining on the penalty to GW for slashing. Okay, over to Shoreswater. Open room finds Merja. Merger with 30 seconds to go. Waits. Sets up shop. And over to Mulcahy. Cardinals need to get a shot on goal here. Shoreswater look for the shot on goal. It was the save made by Silvazzi. GW comes away with it. You got a 2-on-1 going the other way. Shoreswater trying to come back. In on goal. They try and fire the shot. It's blocked by Mulcahy. Rebound loose. I believe Mark got a piece of that as well. 7 seconds to go here in the second period. Shoreswater will get a hold of it and run out the clock with now a hit after at the end of the period. It's 5-0 GW. So we'll still have 30 seconds of power play time in the start of the third period for the Cardinals, but nothing really going the Cardinals' way in that period, and not really in the first period either.
Just hoping to see maybe a little bit of energy, a little bit of spark or something from Catholic, but it seems like the Cardinals have just fallen kind of flat, especially with the second half of that period.
Absolutely.
So we're 2/3 of the game in, and we got to see what happens.
Yeah, not the period the Cardinals won it at all. We'll talk about it in the intermission report. And thanks for tuning in on WCUA. We'll be back in a few minutes. And we're back for third period action. We'll also recap the second period here in just a moment. But good to have everybody with us live here at the St. James for the start of the third period. Catholic down 5-0, and we'll get to it about the 2 goals scored in the second period. So there were 2 goals in the second period. One Daniel Mark might like back. It was scored by number 8, Ryan Jankiel, the one that banked off of Daniel Mark. Simply put, I think he's one he'd like back. And the 5-0 goal was scored by Kieran Laffey. He's one of the assistant captains for the team, for GW. And that was 5-0. Mark really didn't have much of a chance on that play either.
Just kind of screened and flat out just got sniped. It happened.
And there were no penalties on Catholic in that second period. Something that, of note, they did a better job of staying out of the box.
Now, if they can combine maybe keeping out of the box like they did in the second period and applying some pressure to George Washington, coming out with some energy like they do in the third, or like they did in the first, we could have a good period in front of us. And I think that's what Catholic needs to focus on, is just winning the period.
But they're still on the power play for 30 seconds.
They are.
The puck is dropped here to start the third period. As the penalty
lost an edge.
Scott taken down. Kind of lost an edge, so as the puck's still loose in the skates of a couple Cardinal players. 15 seconds remaining here in the Catholic GW penalty. Merja tries to pick it up for Catholic. Nice play to keep it in by Mulcahy at the left side point. Merja gets himself free. Merja has it. Back out towards the point to Mulcahy. He takes his time. As he waits, he holds. Penalty's over. Try to go down low to Joey Henry. And a little, again, indecisive on that power play. Not a lot of time here, but still indecisive. The shoot, the pass, took too long to make the play. There's 19-10 remaining here in the third period. About a minute going by. Loose puck goes the length of the ice and will not be icing as the puck kind of stopped. Schwarzwater trying to pick it up for Catholic. Taken away by Ethan Redden, their captain, the senior.
The ice is a little wet down there, I think. It hasn't fully dried yet. Might see the puck acting up a little bit.
Something to keep in mind. Here's a quick shot in on Mark. Save made as GW just kind of cut in and had their way right then and there. So 18:48 remaining here in the second. The official shot totals are 21-12. I'm going to say the Catholic Cardinals might have maybe 2 more shots. I think GW has more than 21. I'll give you that. They might have close to 30.
I think they are pushing 30.
But nonetheless, the official tally is 21 as they have the shot puck in the slot.
Mark didn't even see that.
Yeah, that went high over the glass, luckily. And here comes Finnegan. Going to drop it off to Selwyn, and a long pass out across, trying to find, I believe it was McQueenie, and will go for icing instead. So 18:26 remaining here in the third period. And something else we can add from the second is, or just overall, is GW has scored 2 power play goals and 3 even strength goals. So something to keep in mind. Obviously, when the penalties start to accumulate, that's part of the reason you try to stay out of the box, especially with 4 consecutive penalties, it seems, or 3 consecutive penalties in the first period.
Indeed.
At the goal line, GW collects at the right side point, down low, looking in front, and blocked away by, I believe it was maybe Selwyn. He had the puck at the side of the goal as well, but turned it over. GW has it. The shot in on goal goes completely wide. Finnegan trying to get to it for CUA. It's behind the goal to Deininger. Deininger has it, waits, goes left side to Finnegan, who had the puck knocked off his stick, but it's knocked right to Deininger. It takes a hard hit into the boards, but turns over the puck as well. GW with space, trying to get around, drops it across over to the open winger, number 11. And something I meant to Denis Sipkov, he's from Moscow. Pretty interesting stat. I just happened to walk by him during the intermission, and I remember reading that when I was preparing for this game. They got a couple guys from Russia, Switzerland, the Czech Republic. Pretty neat.
Interesting.
Yeah, just something to keep in mind I saw when I was reading. Hopefully I didn't butcher his name too much either. Anyway, puck loose at center ice. 17:22 remaining here in the third. Picked up by GW in onside. To try to drop the drop pass. Picked up by Catholic. Trying to go ahead to Blake Simonson. Loose puck again at center. Nice play by Brenner on the stick check. Brenner's got the puck. Brenner floats it in on goal. A save made by Silvazzi. And he's looking for his first collegiate shutout, technically. He's only played in one game, and it would be quite a feat if he got. It would be quite a feat if he got the shutout so early in his career. But we'll see if Catholic can try and not let that happen. There's a loose puck in front. Mark trying to glove it down. It's knocked away and picked up by Simonson. Simonson with the lead pass over to Connor Combs.
Bouncing puck again.
Yeah, the puck continues to bounce like a basketball. I'm getting close to saying maybe we're getting 2-pointers and 3-pointers in this game. Now, loose puck at center, floated in by Mulcahy. Cross-corner dump as the Catholic Cardinals partly go for a change. Combs goes off the ice, and Jackson Shoreswater comes on. Loose puck at the left side boards. Picked up by Simonson. He'll try and dump it in further down behind the goal. It's what he did. Play continues. It's going all the way out to Joey Henry. Maybe he'll have the ref's skate or off a stick. Henry over to Mulcahy. Looks for open room and tries to fling it up to Scott as it got to him indirectly. Puck was bouncing again and still is bouncing as GW clears it out of their zone. Back behind the goal one more time. Mark will leave it for his defense. He's got Mulcahy with his head up. He looks for open space. Mulcahy has it. He waits. With 15:50 remaining here in the third. Puck, long pass hoping for Merja, and that's going to go for icing. So 15:47 remaining here in the third period. Not many signs of life so far for Catholic here in this third. And a game I think Catholic it's the first game of the year. Obviously, there's something you can obviously build from it, right?
And, I've noticed, as we mentioned, Catholic has had limited practices due to lack of availability of ice slots. Now, it's very apparent that George Washington has been practicing together for several weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the passes and plays these guys are making just shows their chemistry and shows they know what they're doing and have had practice in these systems and making these plays.
Well, Catholic's got the right idea on their plays, but again, it's the fact that A, the inexperience, and B, there's a lack of ice time. Here comes Frankie Merja with a burst of speed. Trying to get around, takes the shot. Big save by Solvazi off the backhander. So Merja had a burst of speed to get around the defenseman. Haven't seen much of that tonight from Catholic, but nonetheless, you did that time. Good play by the junior assistant captain Merja. Now cutting in. Here comes GW with a shot taken. That went just wide. That was off the stick of Tally Jervis. He has the second goal tonight for GW. Merja hoping for Shoreswater off the little bit of a float pass. Broken up at center ice. Taken back by GW. GW has it, and they'll float it back in their defensive zone where they have some time to try and move this puck up. Going for a change. It's loose at center, in over the line, and picked up by Henry, or Henry tried to pick it up. Nice play by, I want to say, what is his name? Smishkov. I just didn't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Smishkov. Nice play by the forward from Russia. Now Redden has it. Drops it off at the point and into the slot area as they wait. They hold. Nice move. Fanned on the shot. Now a backhander through the crease. Smishkov has
his stick.
Yeah. Looks like Mark's lost his stick. He's picked up a player's stick. Now pass across. Here's the shot. They score. Tipped off Mark's glove into the back of the net. 6-0. Oh,
I'm not sure if the shot just beat Mark or maybe he was lacking some visibility there. Might have been some traffic in front of the net. Made it hard to see. It wasn't a particularly hard shot. And Mark has a pretty good glove. So my thought there is that there's some traffic. Maybe the puck deflected.
Yeah, it looked to be a bit of a deflection on that last goal. Mark's not happy about it.
Understandable.
I feel like, I don't know, I've seen him make that save sometimes too. I mean, it's a tough game. Offense isn't really generating anything. The puck's in your zone a lot. Not much help he's getting tonight so far. So frustration boiling over in all aspects of the game, I feel like. As this puck's...
Oh my gosh,
goodness.
it hit him
That's the second
time.
time. Wow. Caden Van with his second save in his Catholic career. That puck deflected up into the bench. Look at it hit him in the side of the head, man.
Looks like this might be a sign for Coach Steven Terenzio the puck seems to find Cade there, which is good if you're a goalie. You want the puck to find you and nothing behind you.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So Cade there is 2 for 2 on the night.
Yeah, he is. As the puck was dropped at center, it was won by GW. Puck loose again. They get it in front to their winger in front. I think it was, again, I think it's Shmishkov. Big hit on Brendan Johnson to separate him from the puck. And here comes the Revolutionaries again in front. Nice diving play by Selwyn. Here's a loose puck. That goes wide of the goal. Oh, Johnson dumped him on that play after the whistle. Could have been an interference call, but a little bit of a range play. And now the referee's calling a penalty here. Let's see who this one's on. If it was on Catholic, since they missed the one on Johnson, did they call something on him, or is it on GW? Or if there was a penalty here. I'm sorry. I saw his hand go up.
I thought the hand went up as well. Maybe not.
I'm sorry. I thought
I
there
don't know
was
what
a penalty
happened.
there.
That was confusing.
Well, 5-on-5 play will continue. I saw the ref's arm go up.
Yeah.
Anyways, I digress, and the play continues. 13-10 remaining here in the third. McQueenie has it back behind, or passes it behind his goal over to Owen Finnegan. Finnegan into the center ice, and that's a poor pass picked up by GW as they take the shot, partly blocked. Good defensive play by Catholic to get back, and an error hopefully Finnegan won't make again in his young collegiate career. Back behind the goal, looking to center in front. They hit the man indirectly, backhander shot, and it was partly blocked by the own man at GW. At the point again, a long, high shot goes into the safety netting with 12:41 remaining here in the third period. Oh, man. Just, this is my reaction from the game so far. Not one to remember for the Cardinals so far tonight.
Absolutely not.
12:41 remaining when we have our next stoppage where we will talk about the new divisions and what's new for the Catholic Cardinals this season. As off this draw, it's won by GW as they fire the shot, deflected and almost into the back of the goal.
I saw that. Puck missed the net by just a few inches there.
Well, interesting enough, the referee he waved that off too. He said no goal, and he saw it was a high stick, even though it didn't go into the back of the net, so just in case. Interesting. You don't usually see I don't know, I feel like you don't usually see the referee do that, even if it's not in the back of the goal. So 12:18 remaining here in the third period.
See over here, Mulcahy and number 23 for George Washington exchanging words after a late hit from number 23 after the whistle, after the puck was cleared.
Jacob Bergerman still being a bit physical, one of their assistant captains. He got 2 minutes tonight, too, on a penalty as well.
He did.
So 11:57 here, icing on the Cardinals. And while we have a stoppage here, the Cardinals, it's been 3 years we've been doing games so far, and in each new year they've been in a different division. At first they're in the Capital Division, the Eastern Shore Division. Well, now they're in the Tidewater Division, and they are in a division with the University of Maryland, Christian Newport, so familiar opponents. But the new opponent is William and Mary. So Catholic's only played them once in the last 2 years. That was the game, the first ever game at Wheaton Ice Arena where Dennis Jenner scored the winning goal in a penalty shot in overtime.
Historic night.
Oh, great night. Nonetheless, now they're division rivals. They'll play them twice this year, and I don't have the details when they'll play them, but I believe both of those games are in the second semester. And we'll get around to speaking about the other M2A divisions as well when we have a second. It's going to be a stoppage here. Oh,
no, I heard
there we go. That. Okay, so this is something I wanted to mention earlier when we had. Now we have another game going on behind us, or a practice. We'll talk about that as well. If you heard the whistle, it's a bit confusing, but we'll talk about that in a moment.
There's the practice behind us.
So we'll talk about that in a minute as play continues here along the boards. It's picked up by Catholic. Deininger trying to clear the zone, and he will. It's loose. In over the line is GW. They'll fire the shot. Big block by Henry. Here's another. Looked like to be like a pass or a shot. It was a pass instead. It was blocked as well by Catholic. So ahead to Scott. He gets the pass from Shoreswater. Scott, shot on goal. Save made by Solvazi. Anyway, but what we were going to mention was that there is so the way the St. James is situated, there's two ice sheets kind of in one big room. There's one behind us, and they're both connected. And as a result, you'll hear the whistles from the other game or other rink, and that confused our players, including myself. I thought there was a stoppage, but no, it was the practice behind us. So when there are games, actually the referees will use two differently pitched whistles to try and distinguish the difference. Interesting fact here about the St. James. Here's a 2-on-1 going the other way. They get the pass across to take the shot.
Big
and
save.
Mark with a nice save on the 2-on-1.
Great stop there by Daniel Mark.
Yeah, Catholic defense got caught up in the play again. Mark bails them out one more time. He's done that a bunch tonight and hasn't got a lot of defensive support. As we await the drop of this puck. Draw to the left of Daniel Mark with 10:37 remaining here in the third period. Puck trying to be won by GW back at the point. It's knocked out of the zone. Shoreswater trying to get ahead of the defense as he falls down, but it's still loose. Shoreswater trying to corral the bouncing puck. Loose at the point to Deininger. Deininger looking for the pass, blocked away.
Shoreswater battling over there.
Yeah, going the other way now. Another 2-on-1. Cutting in on goal on Mark. The shot, and they score. Nice backhand play. Player points to the net after the goal with the celebration, and 7-0 the score. My goodness. Another defensive breakdown for the Catholic Cardinals.
Looks like things are getting a little chippy.
Yeah, starting to boil over.
Looking at that celebration, the ref doesn't see the puck still in the net. It's behind that center piece. I don't know how he hasn't seen. Oh, there it is. Daniel Mark knocks it loose.
Yeah, like you mentioned, I don't know if the celebration is really necessary in a game where it's 7-0. Maybe he thought the puck was going to be wide in the net.
I don't know. I think there's some pleasantries being exchanged down there, so I think that was kind of to rub it in.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, 7-0 George Washington.
Yeah, and the Cardinals looking dejected on the bench. Looks like Mulcahy looked like Shoreswater was standing on the bench. I don't know if he had words for the other team, but I mean, everyone on the Catholic bench is sitting, and everyone on the GW bench is standing. It is one of those games.
Well, earlier, a few seconds before that goal was scored, I couldn't see the number of the player, but Shoreswater was battling, physically just wrestling over in the corner, and they were exchanging words, pushing and shoving, so I'm sure that's what that celebration was about.
Yeah, had to be just like a little bit of, I'm better, like screw you or something like that of that nature. Now Johnson back behind the goal looking for Finnegan. Had a good bouncing play, or puck, but again it bounced away. Going up the right side is GW. Has a lot of room. They fire the shot on Mark, and that went way wide over the glass. At the left side point, back down low. Play continues here as the right side. There's a shot on Mark, and a glove save for Daniel Mark.
Good scoop there by Mark as that puck was redirected.
So we got some other divisions here that we're going to mention. It's kind of pretty neat. The M2A is starting to grow a bit more, and more than I've seen in the since freshman and sophomore year calling games. The Blue Ridge division consists of High Point, Liberty, Wake Forest, and Virginia Tech. Eastern Shore, Loyola, Stevenson, Navy, and Salisbury, who have now joined the ACCHL. They previously were in a different league. The SEC division, or Southeastern Conference, Alabama, Georgia, Coastal Carolina, and Charleston. And the Tri-State division of York, Rowan, Westchester, and Penn State main campus. So a couple new teams joining the fray. Good to have the new league members. And I'm sure Catholic will slowly start to play those teams, obviously this year, some of them, and in the following years. There's a big hit by Mulcahy in the defensive end. Puck still comes free to George Washington. The shot in on goal. Mark makes the save. And then once again, of course, Catholic in the Tidewater division, with UMD, William & Mary, Christopher Newport, and of course our beloved Birds. So 9:29 remaining here in the third period. Not a lot going offensively for the Catholic Cardinals tonight. It's a one game you'd like to forget, obviously.
For sure.
And I'm just going to put this out there. I mean, we should consider pulling Danny. It's not really his fault tonight, Daniel Mark. But we should do it just to give him some rest and give David Zapp some reps, too.
Absolutely. You know, in a game like this, you got to change something up.
At this point, I don't see head coach Steven Terenzio doing that necessarily. Maybe. I mean, I agree with you. I mean, Mark's, it's not his fault.
No, not at all.
Give him a break. Anyways, there's
like a penalty.
It was interference. Interference. Didn't see the
two guys in the box.
Didn't they call it two-player?
I don't think they called two penalties, but we see two George Washington players in the box.
Yeah, we do. Oh, sorry, we have four. Okay.
5-on-4 on the ice.
5-on-4. So the penalty was Brendan Johnson drew the interference penalty. He was knocked down, and the player kind of laid into the hit a little bit more, kept them on the ice a little bit. And a 7-0 game, you can call it. But this referee, and that's how he calls games. It's the way he saw it. Here's a shot. It'll go. Rebound. It's loose. Oh, Salvazzi. And another penalty coming up here on George Washington. That was a bit of a late hit. And in a 7-0 game, I'm not liking. I think it's a little bit more physical than you need to be. So Catholic will get a 5-on-3 with 9 minutes remaining here in the third period. And like I mentioned, this referee is calling a lot of penalties in this game, and it's the way he sees fit.
This is a big chance for Catholic. I mean, I'm sure they'd love to spoil the shutout for George Washington's goalie here. And
that's number 5 in the box. I didn't see the signal. 2 minutes. Number 5 in the box for GW. It was a bit of the shove into the crease with the penalty, and it could be interference. So 5-on-3, Priz power play. Let's see if they can get something on the board to cheer about. Here's Mulcahy, quick shot. So Vizzi's feeling it with a glove save.
Good glove snag there, flashing the leather.
So 8:48 remaining here in the third period. Cardinals with a 5-on-3 power play opportunity. Can they break the ice and break Salvazzi's shutout? McQueenie back out to Mulcahy, and it's going the other way.
Oh,
short-handed breakaway.
Oh, boy.
Trying to get back his Deininger. In on goal. Oh, nice play by Deininger to get back in time. Mark may have gotten a piece as well. And here they come 2-on-1 the other way. Johnson wasn't with him, though. Oh, man. Deininger had
opportunity
shot there, and he elected to pass. I think he thought Johnson was with him. Nonetheless, a lot of end-to-end action, which we haven't really seen, I feel, since the first period. But 5-on-3 will continue for a minute here. Cole Mulcahy had some room and elect to pass over to Shoreswater. And the other penalty on number 12 was Nicholas Tangretti. That was the trip, or interference call, I believe. So Scott back behind the net looking for Brendan Johnson, the captain. He's got him. Johnson tried to pass. It was off the skate, but back to Johnson off the bounce. Johnson has it. He waits. He holds, looking in front, and elects to go back out to the perimeter to the right side point. There's face-off dot to Deininger. Deininger over to his defensive partner, Mulcahy. Over to Shoreswater. He waits, holds, backdoor head, Deininger. The puck was just off his stick. Deininger has it again. 13 seconds remaining on the 5-on-3. As the puck back out towards the point, Mulcahy has it. Just takes the shot, the save made by Salvazzi again. He has been great
Salvazzi
so far.
is locked in
He wants
as of
that
right now.
shutout.
I noticed Brendan Johnson was behind the net looking for Schwarzwalder on an open one-timer, and he did his best to make a good pass out, but Salvazzi kept that stick down and redirected it the other way. Big play for George Washington's goalie there.
So 7:23 remaining here in the third period. You got 7 seconds remaining off the initial penalty. So it'll be 7 seconds for a 5-on-3, and then the remaining 16 seconds will be a 5-on-4. So Henry has it. He waits. Back over to McQueenie. McQueenie looks for the pass over. It was partly blocked, still in the zone. One man out of the box, 5-on-4 for 15 seconds. Henry takes the shot, it's blocked. And going the other way, GW has a burst of speed, 2-on-1 maybe, but Henry's trying to get back. At the right side, they'll just float this in on goal. Mark will cover up. And he'll hold on as 7 minutes, 5 seconds remaining in the third period. Catholic still a big 0 on the scoreboard. So draw coming up to the left of Daniel Mark. And it's one cleanly by GW as they fire the shot looking for the deflection on goal. GW is pretty good at those deflections, I have to say. A lot of good chances on this tonight.
Now back to even strength. 5-on-5. Catholic fails there. Oh, got to be careful there.
Well, hit by McQueenie. Yeah, it looked like the hit by McQueenie could have been called for a penalty, but
it's a little late and a little low.
Yeah.
Luckily, the ref let it slide.
So 6:47 remaining here in the third period. I don't know if you're going to see tensions boil over. I mean, they have a little bit. Catholic really not a game to remember, like we mentioned. Obviously, there's something you could build on in this game. And there's a lot of things, you know. You can start with the power play, the defensive positioning. There's a lot of things you can look at in games like this. But defensively, Deininger trying to pick up that puck. He couldn't do it. In the high slot, a shot taken.
Good
Big
shot
block by Mulcahy. Nice play to get in the middle of that one. McQueenie has it. Tries to float it into the zone. Gets around to the fence. McQueenie fires a shot. Save made at the point. Oh, Selwyn couldn't keep it in. 6:20 remaining here in the third period. Salvazi wants the shutout. Catholic trying to get one on the board. Merja trying to step around the defense. He couldn't. Going the other way is GW. Trying to get around the defense of Selwyn. They will. They fired the shot in on goal. Rebound loose in the crease. Picked up again by Deininger. He gets it ahead to Merja. He's able to kick it back to his skates and in on out of the zone. In over center. Merja waits. Looks for the centering Pete to Deininger. They lifted his stick. Good defensive play. Under 6 to go here in the third. Up ahead. Looking for the open man was GW, trying to skate it over the line. Shoreswater tried to come away with it. He gets it back. Shoreswater looking for the pass in front to Merja. Goaltender elected to try and poke check it, but his defense did it first. And as a result, they've iced the puck. Oh, that was close.
That was close.
I think maybe the GW won that race, but Catholic maybe getting a little lucky here. And he got some talking in between the whistles here from Nolan Scott and Lucas
7.
Green. I don't know if that was any hostility or just a chat.
He was just chatting.
Maybe asking about how the summer vacation went. Not too sure.
How the school year started off.
Yeah, right. There's it. Deflection, they score! Catholic's on the board, and it's the captain, Brendan Johnson. He can take away the shutout. Brendan Johnson scores his first goal of the season for Catholic University. And they're on the board.
Redirecting the puck there in front of the net. That's all it takes is put it on net, low, and stick on it, and spoils the night, spoils the shutout for
Salvazi, yeah. No chance for Salvazi. That's a great deflection by Brendan Johnson, the captain, getting it done. First game as captain, he scores, and I guess if you take away, look at the score in the last couple minutes of the game. It'll look at it. It'll look good that way.
Yeah.
Anyways. Nice play by Shoreswater to set that play up as well. This play's on sides into the slot. Shoreswater and a play across to Mulcahy. Has it again at the left side over to Brendan Johnson. He'll look for a blind pass to float it out of the zone. And Shoreswater trying to get to it. Shoreswater will at the right side board. He's going to float it back behind the goal to Brendan Johnson. Johnson has it. And they float it out of the zone. There's GW. Johnson still offside, so he'll have to touch up. Under 5 to go here in the third period. GW still with a big commanding lead, 7-1. Now, in on sides again, trying to sidestep around the defense. Finnegan tried to clear, he couldn't. At the line again, a shot. It's blocked. Selwyn trying to get to it, help to poke it out of the zone. Will Brunner and Owen Finnegan, 2-on-2. Brunner takes the shot on the goaltender. He makes the save. Finnegan trying to glove it down. Finnegan, left side, pass down low to Brunner. He catches it, looks for the centering pass over to Deininger. He takes the shot, partly blocked, deflected high into the net, and that's no goal. That's a high stick.
No goal, high stick.
Whoa, let's wait a minute here. Did that hit off the stick or did that hit off the...
Thought it hit off a body part.
I thought it hit off the body too.
I didn't think that it found the stick.
Referee,
maybe it did.
Referee was right there. Now they're going to talk it over here. Did this count?
I thought the puck was like too high to be hit off a stick. It was really just floating. You know, you'd really have to get your stick up to reach that, almost jump.
Yeah, that's a...
But I guess the goal was waved off.
Maybe it hit off of his head or the glove.
That's what I thought.
I don't know.
I thought off the head.
Anyways, looked like Will Brunner had scored his first of the year, but unfortunately they'll have to wait. Maybe
next time.
Maybe later today. I don't know.
Maybe in a few minutes.
Yeah, you got a few minutes left to go. The Cardinals almost made it 7-2. Referee said no, and I don't know if that's the right call or not necessarily. It's hard to see from this angle up here. But 7-1 the score, still under 4 to go. GW with a commanding 7-1 lead. Now at the point again, or in the high slot, a shot on mark, it's blocked. Deininger are able to clear it out of the zone. And GW will regroup and slowly start to move out through center. Now, in over the line at the left side, looking in front, the backdoor pass. It was partly blocked away by Selwyn, walking in from the slot again. Save made by Mark. Yeah, look like he didn't see it at first.
Did not see that one.
Simonson plays it across. Oh, a big hit on Owen Finnegan. Coach Terenzio wanted to call for an elbow, and he's got it. Elbowing the call on GW. That looked like a bit of a high hit.
It was a bit high. Yeah. Good on Finnegan for eating that.
Yeah, he got right back up. Yes, he did. That's Thomas Benaka from the Czech Republic. Interesting enough. He's going to take that 2-minute penalty. I didn't see the signal. I want to say it's an elbow. I mean, it was right in front of the bench. And the Priz power play will get another opportunity to try and get on the board. As play continues here, it's a power play for 2 minutes for Catholic University. In front. Oh, a good chance for Catholic.
Save.
Couldn't tuck it home. Puck was loose again. And out of the zone, GW is just going to float this down with about 3 minutes to go here in the third period. Now, Shoreswater has it, tries to get around the defense. Like we mentioned, power play for Catholic. He'll be at it to a minute left in the game. At the point, Mulcahy can't keep it in. 2:45 remaining here in the third. Mulcahy looking to find open space. An open man. Looks to find the man over Shoreswater. At the line, it's taken away. Johnson has it. He lost it. It's still loose at center. Here comes Nolan Scott trying to get around the defense of GW. He's able to, but the puck rolled off the stick of Deininger. 2:24 remaining here in the third period. Now, in the defensive zone, GW had a chance to make a play around Mulcahy, but he was able to stop the man in his tracks and free up the puck for Deininger. Deininger across over to Brendan Johnson. Johnson had the puck roll off his stick. Deininger has it. He's on sides all by himself as Catholic goes for a change. He's looking to pass it. Deininger waits, looks to pass across to Johnson. That's off the mark. And out of the zone, going to go all the way down. 35 seconds remaining here. Mulcahy has a man right behind him, and I think he knows it. At least now he does. Maybe if I said it. But Mulcahy has it behind his net. 1:45 remaining here in the third period. Catholic with 25 seconds to try and get another one on the board. Shoreswater has it at the right side. He's in on sides. It's around the defense. He waits. He fires a shot. It goes high, or maybe on the far side of the goal, just wide, with 10 seconds remaining on the power play. McQueenie gets the puck back from Henry. Tried to find the man over at the wall at the line. It's Brunner who's just going to float this long shot in on goal. Penalty's over. Benaka is out of the box as Mark's out of his net to play it. He's going to play it over to Joey Henry, and a little bit of miscommunication. Now Selwyn has it at the right side. Going to float this out to McQueenie. McQueenie has it with a lot of space and turns on the Jets, trying to make the great escape. McQueenie has it at the left side. Merja indirectly, it floats to Simonson, takes the shot, and that's going to hit the safety net in here. We've got about 53 seconds left to go here in the third period. Looks like it got deflected out of play. 7-1 the score, 53 seconds to go. Catholic able to break the ice in the last couple of minutes here, much to the delight of the fans who have made the trip and ourselves. McQueenie able to win the draw. Finnegan has it as it went back to Selwyn, who played it over to Simonson at the right side. Deep boards by the goal line. Poked out of the zone with 40 seconds to go. Henry across over to Selwyn. Selwyn's going to try and get it to Finnegan, and he gets the puck back. Finnegan's going to backhand this one in on goal. Silvazzi will leave it for his defense. Finnegan with a bit of a body trying to get the puck loose over to Simonson, and Henry will get to it at the right side point to keep it in with 25 seconds to go. In front, hoping for McQueenie. Finnegan now has it again off the block pass, back out to Henry. Henry a shot, he fanned on it, gets it back again. He's bodied a bit. Now floats it back down low. Got 15 seconds to go here in the third period. Henry now takes a bit of a check, trying to go the other way with GW. Catholic has it. Selwyn up the boards to Henry. 5 seconds to go, trying to find the open man. Here's one more shot, save made by Mark. Rebound loose, and that's going to be the buzzer. GW will take this one 7-1 over the Catholic Cardinals. Well, not the game Catholic wanted in their opening game of the season. Definitely one to forget. They did get one past Silvazzi. That's his first career win, so congratulations to him.
Good performance.
Yes,
great performance from both goaltenders here, but shout out Silvazzi for his first collegiate win. Daniel Mark with an outstanding performance. Unfortunately, not too much help, but it's how it is sometimes.
It's the way games go. You know, like we mentioned, you know, it's I'm not going to mention the disadvantages with the practice times, and I guess I just did, but GW, you can see they've been playing for a couple of weeks, like you mentioned, consistent on
Yeah,
practices.
and they're a group of talented guys. They have their chemistry together. Some of those passes and plays that they were making definitely showed their experience and their chemistry that they formed together.
Absolutely. You could see their chemistry pretty much from I'd say like within the first 10 minutes of the first period.
Yes.
They just looked good. Their passes were crisp. And Catholics, not so much.
Not so much. GW is also a fast team, skating up and down the ice, just blowing past guys. And, that's not to say that Catholic, is slow or that we're not well conditioned, because we are for sure, but George Washington did have some advantage here coming into this game.
Yeah, they absolutely did. They've been playing. They also play in a league above the Catholic Cardinals, at least up until,
Correct.
I think, this year. I think they
Yeah, I believe so.
I think they got grouped in with Catholic this year.
I think so.
Or Catholic may have moved up. I'm not exactly sure. But nonetheless, let's see. Just looking at the other divisions as we're looking down here at our sheets here. And no, George Washington is still actually, I believe they're grouped into the M2A Elite again. So they're also in a division above Catholic. So just one thing to keep in mind. A bit similar to the Newman game they played late last in the second semester. That was an 8-2 loss, and Catholic was outmatched right from the get-go. Just because they're a good team. They play well. They play a well-structured game, and good luck to them for the rest of the year as well.
Absolutely.
And we'll be back to wrap up the game in a few minutes, but the final score, 7-1. Stay with us here on WCUA. We'll be back in a few. All right, welcome back. We're going to wrap this one up here. Cardinals fall to George Washington Revolutionary 7-1 in a game where they were mainly outmatched from pretty much within the first 10 minutes, like I had mentioned a couple minutes ago.
Absolutely. George Washington is a fast team. We've said this several times throughout the whole game, but they're quick. They have good chemistry together. You can see that they've been practicing. I'm sure that a bunch of these guys have probably played a season or two together, and it showed tonight. Whereas Catholic, we've had fewer practices, maybe I think only 3 or 4 due to limited ice availability. And on top of that, we have a young and a new team. We have guys who it's their first time playing together. A few guys, second or third year, but majority of guys haven't found that chemistry just yet. It's still early in the season. It's only the first game, so plenty of time for that. And we're both very hopeful and confident that it will happen.
Just want to bring ourselves into the booth a little bit. You can come in here too, CJ, of course. It's good to be back for another season of Catholic Cardinals hockey. Like we mentioned, it is a relatively young Catholic team. You graduate Jacob Foster. He was great on the defensive end.
Great, very helpful.
And you're missing Matthew Hornick, who's away in Europe. And you're missing Nick Lehan, who was a good first and second line center. And those are guys.
He was good on defense as well.
He was good on defense.
Yeah.
He was versatile. He was a utility. He could play both. And that's a player, 3 key guys. Connor Rasmussen, too, a big locker room guy and played a grinder role on the third line. Really did a good job.
Absolutely.
Timmy Keegan as well. And those were just guys that, Catholic is missing. They're big. All those guys were locker room guys. And now is the time where you need to start to build that foundation. You lose a game like this, it's like, okay, how are we going to rebound from this? Are we going to sulk, or are we going to build from it? And there's definitely a lot you can build from a game like this. It's the first game of the year.
It's the first game. It's a long season ahead. So nothing to hang our heads over. Still very early in the season. Lots to look forward to.
Now, we had 3 goals in that second period. We had the 6-0 goal and the 7-0 goal. As of right now, I do not have the statistics for the TW goals. We do have the goal scorer for Catholic University, Brendan Johnson, the captain, scoring tonight with a deflection with about, 4 minutes left in the third period.
Yeah, spoiled the shutout real late in the game.
Spoiled the shutout. We were talking, as soon as the game started to get more out of hand, it was 6-7-0, we started to try and talk more about how could the Cardinals break the shutout. And, Brendan Johnson, I guess in a sense you could say leading by example.
Absolutely.
It's a game where you're down.
He was grinding the whole game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it showed there at the end, finally paid off. Deflection goal.
You need someone to make a play, and your captain comes ready to make a play, and that he definitely did. Daniel Mark at the official tally, he says he made 23 saves on the clock. I think he made a bit more than that.
I think so as well.
It definitely had more shots than that. Catholic, it said 19 a second ago. I want to say Catholic maybe had about 21, 22 shots.
Something like that.
Total.
Yeah.
Something of that nature. Catholic, like we mentioned, they have the new divisions. The league is slowly starting to expand. We actually had the commissioner here tonight, too. I had a brief word with him. Good to see him.
Good guy.
Well. Yeah, helping expand the league. The SEC for
the SEC with hockey.
Catholic,
yeah.
For hockey.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
That's huge. Love seeing that.
Maybe we'll see Catholic play one of those teams further down the line this year, or in a tournament or some sort. But, of course, a couple questions. Is the East Coast Showdown happening this year? It is. Catholic will be playing Ramapo again, and a couple other teams, but they will be having the East Coast Showdown tournament in November, so that's something you can look forward to and maybe try and plan a trip to as well. But the Catholic Cardinals' next game is a home game against George Mason University. Puck drop at 9 p.m. We'll have coverage beginning at 8:45 at Tucker Road Ice Arena. If you're looking to make the trip, it's about 30 minutes from campus, so should be a game where Catholic will hopefully have more of their legs underneath them. I think they have 2 practices this upcoming week.
I think so, yeah.
Which they could use after, a
definitely,
game like this.
Definitely.
But, don't hang your heads. It's the first game of the year. It's not. I think it's a different situation that they saw from last year in the first semester.
For sure.
But I think that's going to do it for my partner, CJ Pigstro. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
CJ's done a lot for this program the last 2 years. He's sadly stepping away from the team with some ROTC duties, and we respect that. We thank you for what you do for our country. And
thank you.
You're always welcome on the broadcast anytime you want. So thank you so much.
Appreciate that. Thanks for all you do as well, Giuliano. It's great having you here, doing all the games no matter what. So we all appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. That's going to wrap it up for my partner, CJ Pigstro. I'm Giuliano Luca. As the great Gene Hart would say,